Hello, hi Joanne. Thank you so much for joining me. I wanted to have you on here because it's been a long time with health anxiety in the mix, and you started working with me back in, I think we worked it out to be sort of late summer last year.
Yes, it was. Yes.
Yeah. Could you take me back to how life was for you back at that point?
Okay. So my health anxiety was basically taking over everyday life. Constantly checking my body for sensations or symptoms. Um, just worrying, overthinking. It's just ruined everyday life, really. And it was literally all consuming, and it was there all the time.
Yeah.
I couldn't even go outside the house.
Yeah. Okay. So you weren't going outside, you were stuck inside, and
Yep.
the fear was very loud. And you had
Yes.
physical symptoms with that as well. So your body was
Yep.
responding in a physical way.
Yes. So I had wobbly legs, jelly legs going out, and um, just waking up with really sort of bad neck and shoulders. Often sort of getting headaches through it, and I just realised it was all to do with how I was feeling. The anxiety was so bad. Yeah, it was just taking over my whole life.
Yeah. And your life shrunk and got smaller.
Smaller.
And I
Yeah,
guess, you were almost a bit agoraphobic to the point where you couldn't really go
definitely.
outside.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And how long had that been going on for? How long had you been living like that for?
I would say a good year,
Mm.
but just literally gradually getting worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know when you came to me, you had tried quite a lot of different things. What had you tried before coming to me?
I had tried hypnotherapy, NHS CBT, other sort of therapy, just going to different people, and they basically wanted to go back in my life, and I just don't think that really helps at all.
Yeah. Yeah, we see that a lot, in terms of counselling
Yeah,
or therapy, as people do want help to take you back. But my work is very much taking you forwards. And as a
yeah,
coach, that's how I work. So although it's good to know triggers and things that have happened in the past, we are looking to move forwards. So you tried all these different things. You were agoraphobic, you weren't able to leave the house. What was the point where you thought, I need to sort this out? What was, did you have like a defining moment where you just thought enough is enough?
yeah, definitely. So one day I was literally worrying about three different serious health problems. And I think in one weekend I went to the emergency doctors three times.
Bless you. Yeah,
So yeah, it
it was just,
wasn't good at that time. And my husband said to me, you need to get some help of some sort. And I just broke down in tears. And yeah,
bless you. And then you found me. I guess you were, I think maybe on my Facebook community. I think that's probably how you
yeah,
found
I
me.
think yeah, and I think someone said that that you was really good and that you sort of suffered with health anxiety yourself. And I think she sent me the link to your group, and yeah, just did a lot of sort of research.
Yeah, yeah. And I know that you watched some of these testimonials, which is why I was really excited to get you
Definitely.
to come and do this today, because I know that was, to make the move to sign up and also to make that commitment to yourself. It's generally what I see as a last resort. You've tried a lot of stuff, but also it's
Hmm.
that final push to say, I have got to sort this out now, or else I'm going to be, continuing down that path. So you watched these testimonials, and then I remember the messages, and you were like, sign me up, Amy. Let's
Help.
just get, let's just
Help.
get going.
Yeah.
And we started, and I think for you, Joanne, it was a quite a quick process. Things started to click into place
Yes.
quickly.
Yeah.
Um,
I just found like like literally from the first one-to-one, I just felt such relief that you understood what I was sort of going through, where no one else really, like even my husband, couldn't understand why I was worrying so much. He said all he kept saying was, "There's nothing wrong with you," and it's really hard to sort of explain what you're feeling.
Yeah. When you're alone, you don't feel like you've got any support or
Mm,
understanding.
yeah,
That's really tough, and we all feel that way. I certainly felt that way, which is why, a community of people like we have is massively helpful. So when you join me, not only do you work with me on a one-to-one, but you also have access to a group coaching session, and the recordings, and also a community where you can message out, and we try and keep it very much, upbeat, non-triggering.
yes.
How did you find the group sessions and also
Oh, amazing. I think the first one I joined on I think it was on the Wednesday morning, I was in a really bad way. And everyone was so supportive. And I just felt quite relieved afterwards, like a cloud had been lifted almost. Just so much support through the group coaching. And now I'm just sort of topping up now with the group coaching, and just sort of keeping the consistency going,
yeah,
which I find is really nice. Wednesday morning is like a little friendly coffee morning, and it's lovely.
yeah. And I think that's what we find when we come to these sessions is often the first step. And it's the same with anything, with signing up to work with me, or whether it's coming to the group session for the first
Yeah,
time. That's the biggest step. Once
they're
you've done
amazing. They're
that,
really helpful.
yeah, yeah, and you can then come along and see that, you're not alone. Lots of other people feel exactly the same way
Exactly
as
same.
you. And then I guess, so how did it work? Did you start to see little improvements, or was it bigger shifts? How did things start to work for you?
I think it was quite big in the beginning. I think it really was quite. I was like, what? Why haven't I done this a long time ago? I just didn't even know about health anxiety at the time. I didn't even know what it was. And then, yeah, literally, as soon as I started talking to you and the other ladies, it was just like a little light going on. Yeah, definitely. And then, yeah, you have to just keep the consistency going, and you can get there. You can definitely get there. I feel so much better.
Amazing.
I can switch things off if I think, oh, I'm getting this symptom. I'm like, but it's nothing. I've been through so many things before when they've turned out to be nothing, and I've worried myself silly.
Yeah, all those
And now
times.
I just can sort of switch it off
Yeah, you've
quite
learned.
quickly.
Yeah, I think one of when I look back at, the time we were working together, it's the messages that you were sending me at the time, because we very much, if you work with me, you'll recognize that
Yeah,
I'm all for communication. And so
you
you
are. Yeah,
messages and you'd be
definitely.
like, Amy, look, I'm going out for this walk. I'm going to go do it. And you'd send me pictures, and it was lovely to see. And you were like a little, butterfly emerging, and you were doing it. And I think you
Yeah,
almost surprised yourself that you could do it, especially after all that time. Um,
definitely. And the more I started doing things, the better I felt.
yeah, yeah. Isn't it funny how fear is just so
Yeah,
shouts so loud, and
yeah, they
it
just consume you completely.
yeah.
Yeah, and I go out a lot more now, and I'm enjoying life.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're going out more, you're no longer stuck in fear. I mean, we never claim to be free for this, but we claim
No,
that we can now, control it, and it doesn't dictate to us. And I think that's the stage where I always say I got to, and now,
yeah,
with yourself. So life for you now, obviously you're going out, you're doing things. It's very different to how it was, let's say, a year ago.
yeah, definitely. Just loving life now. Yeah, I still get my moments. I still get my moments, definitely. I'm not, like you say, it's never not there. It's just the way you think about it differently.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned consistency a couple of times there, and I think that's really key for this. So even
Yes,
now, we're not doing our one-to-one sessions anymore. We've come through that, but you still check in with me. If you're having a wobble, you'd still check in. You
yeah,
still come to the group sessions. You keep up the momentum, and that's what it's all about. It's not about doing this work for a few weeks and then forgetting
no,
about it.
definitely not. It's definitely a long term thing, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah, yeah. And if you think about it, it took, a long time for you to get to that place. So equally, it's going to take a long time to get out. And it is about keeping going with it, reminding yourself all the time. So what would you say to, if you look back at how you were a year ago, what would you say to anybody who is now at the moment feeling the way that you were? What would you say to them?
I would say get some help ASAP, because there is nothing worse than being in that really bad place where you're just sitting there worrying, worrying, and worrying. Um, it's just a different life altogether that I have now.
Lovely. It's lovely to hear. It's great to hear, Joanne. Well, I'm so super proud of you. You did the hard work. All I do is guide people, and you have to actually put the work in. This is not a magic pill. And there is, I guess, an element here of making yourself feel a bit uncomfortable. Some of the things that we were doing, wasn't in your comfort zone. But
Yeah.
as with anything, the more you did it, the more you recognized, I am okay, I am safe. This is a fear-based narrative in my mind. And you've come through, and it's been lovely to watch.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. And thank you for all your help.
You're
I
very
wouldn't be
welcome.
here without you. I would definitely wouldn't be enjoying my life the way I am.
It's lovely to hear. And thank you for coming on to share, because I think it is so important. And, if you look back at yourself and think, back in that day, I wasn't sure if this was something that I could achieve, because we all generally think that our anxiety is far worse than anybody else's. When we
Yeah,
come along and
definitely.
we see these sessions that actually, everybody else shares exactly the same
Shares
processes.
they really do. They really do. Yeah. And I just want to reach out to people now and say it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
It can be changed.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Joanne. It's been lovely to chat to you. I'm really proud, like I said, of everything that you've done, and keep going with it. Keep showing up, keep doing the work. But thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it.
No worries.
Take care. Thanks. Bye.